And in Dearborn Heights, Michigan, a shooting which left a young woman dead is reviving memories of the killing of Trayvon Martin. Family members of Renisha McBride and their supporters protested in the suburban Detroit community where McBride was shot in the face because the shooter claims he thought she was an intruder. Local investigators have not decided whether to file charges against the shooter who shot her on his porch. Yusef Shakur is a community activist who attended the vigil and is joining us via Skype. Yusef, thank you so much for taking some time with us. We do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let me just ask you, since you attended the vigil, what was the atmosphere? What was the prevailing emotion at that vigil?
Of hope, that a black woman's life is valuable, that black life is valuable, that this would not be tolerated. When you look at the complexity of the racial dynamics here in the state of Michigan, Detroit, a city is 85% black, suburbs are 85% white, and these things happen, or the potential things can happen at any moment, and it did happen.
You know, there have been many reports, still investigation going on as to actually what happened. Some saying that this has nothing to do with race, that the owner of this home just thought that that Renisha was an intruder. But how convinced are you that this was racial profiling?
I mean, again, if anybody that lives in Michigan, lives in Detroit, that knows race has everything to do with the fact that your profile when you're driving through Dearborn Heights, Warren, Royal Oak. I mean, it's no secret that if you're caught out in those areas at a certain time, that you may be accosted by the police, or you may end up getting shot or killed. I mean, that is a part of the culture in Michigan.
Of course, as we know, the owner of the home at this point has not been charged with anything, has not been arrested. However, the DA has asked the Dearborn Heights Police Department to investigate further. Is that enough for you?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, the reality of, if that was me, a black man that accidentally or intentionally shot a white woman, I would be arrested by now. Again, when we look at the complexity of incarceration in America, with over half of them being black, you know, these things that continue to prevail, allowing us to see that we haven't moved forward, that race still matters in this country.
What can you tell us about Renisha? I know that you did not know her personally, but what can you tell us about her as a person?
I mean, what's coming out, that she was a 19-year-old that worked at Henry Ford Motor Company. I mean, her whole life was still set ahead of her. I mean, here was a young lady, a human being that was in an accident or blew a tire and did like any of us, particularly a woman, search for help and found danger instead.
There seem to be some conflicting details, at least from what I've read about what's being reported about this incident. I think some have reported that that Renisha was shot in the back of the head. Some have said that she was shot in the face. What bothers you the most about the details of this incident as we understand it right now?
It reigns supreme of the stories that you hear in the 40s and the 50s down south of blacks being taken in the backwoods and being lynched. And, you know, like someone called me earlier today and was like, did they find a body in the water or something? So, you know, it's a cover-up. The report, you know, some folks who attended the funeral, it was a closed casket. It's no way that you can justify this. No weapon. I mean, it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Well, how do you then respond to at least what we understand has been the response of the homeowner, that this homeowner thought that Renisha was an intruder, was invading their home? What should have been the response?
I mean, again, fear should never be an excuse for murder. I mean, you know, self-preservation is the first law of nature. However, again, if you're in your house and there's no justification of someone beating at your door, knocking at your window, there's no excuse for that. Again, unfortunately, we live in a world and society that it plays on our fear, and particularly when you assume of the racial profiling that occurred, it leads to murder. It leads to the devastation where we have in our community a young life has been taken from us.
So in your mind, what could be done to bring justice for Renisha?
I mean, at this juncture, man, we want the judicial system to play out as if it was anyone else. Yeah, I don't know this man personally. I have wish nothing bad on him. We want the same thing if it was me to come out and to be able to, be held accountable, discuss those things, and for her body to have some form of peace. The lot of the endo windows that's out there, let the truth come out. Where she can have peace and her family can have peace.
Yusef Shakur, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.